And welcome to Multifamily Foundation. So today we just got back from an awesome trip visiting a market, visiting Phoenix, Arizona. Just a ton happening there, really engaging market, over 5 million people, ton of growth going on into this area here. And you go out there and it makes you understand why certain areas are consistently succeeding and revolving and why other areas are staying dormant. And what was really beneficial was to see the difference between, of course, investing out of state and how people that are there locally, that local to Phoenix, are crushing it. So we're going to talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages. So ultimately, we were out there visiting a friend, Ben Leibovich, and he's just absolutely crushing in the market. They're really dialed in. They're really finding where they can create value, where other people that if they're not there local, they're missing out. And so Ben and his partner Sam have a secret sauce here where they're finding that delta in terms of what's being desired. But if you look at it just on a numbers per numbers basis from out of market, it won't make sense to you because you're not there dialed into the market. So there's many times where being close to market, it can really be to your advantage. You better understand, honestly, the neighborhoods. You understand what's happening in the area. You understand where the path of progress are going, where the roads are being widened, where people are wanting to live, where the universities are expanding, where the development is happening. And that just gives you that leg up. Now, sure, you can dial into this on a map and do your best to get this research, but when you're there day in and day out, feeling that growth, understanding that growth, it allows you to really capture on that growth really to a smaller level or a more intense level than if for someone who's maybe out of the market and just trying to look at it from a macro level. So for this, when you're able to find that niche and find your niche in the market and you're able to be there and see how it's working and see how it's developing and see how it's adapting, well, it gives you that one step up. It gives you that one step that you can actually take that step to maximize your potential and actually maximize the profit in the deal. So for this, some of the disadvantages is that you can get too close to the properties. And I say this in a good way, but when you get too close to the properties, you find yourself doing tasks that might not be your highest and best use. So one way is being there dialed in locally. You're able to see the advantages of it. But if you're actually buying properties there, being there, you may find that your time, instead of now analyzing deals, understanding really what's happening there in the area, how you can make the most of it, you might find ways to make yourself busy. And that's a hurdle that I always had here in New Jersey and has really been beneficial for us to get out of state. And it's not because I want to be busy, but I find that there's many tasks where ultimately if there's a leak in a faucet or something, instead of having the team take care of it, I'll dive in there and get it done. But if my highest and best use is underwriting deals and finding capital and I'm there fixing a sink, well, the whole point of my highest and best use is now getting washed out because I'm basically there fixing someone else's job because I'm not taking the time to have the systems in place. So you always want to look at it from both levels, the pros and cons of where you are. And it can be the pros and cons of investing out of state and the pros and cons of being dialed in there in the market. So today, think about it. If you're in your market and you are now dialed into investing in your market, are you doing the highest and best use of the activity that you should be doing? All right, give us some thought. Of course, if you like what you hear, go give us a rating and review. Go subscribe to the podcast. You don't have to give us 5 stars. We just want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what value we can bring you. Go any platform you're on. You have iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Check us out on YouTube. We're putting out a ton of great content because we want to help you get to your next level. And go over to Multifamily Foundation. It can teach you more about how the steps need to take place for you to buy apartment buildings. I know you can do it. We did it. You can do it. It's now taking one step at a time, building your foundation and putting it together. All right, let's do this.